And that is a perfect transition to story number 5 with David Lyons. David, SunSentinel, you wrote this story. Let me read you the headline, first couple graphs, and then I want you to comment based on what John was just discussing. Here we go. Headline: South Florida homes heavily overvalued. Report finds with Greater Miami ranked 11th in the nation. Subhead: we're going to have to adjust to buying less for more. First couple graphs, David. While Florida remains highly rated as a landing spot for businesses and people seeking to relocate from elsewhere in the United States, 9 of the top 15 metropolitan areas in the National Survey of Overvalued Home Markets are in the Sunshine State, according to researchers at 2 South Florida universities. While it's hardly news that steep home prices continue to flummox would-be home buyers around the state, Florida Atlantic University's real estate economist, Ken Johnson, was not expecting so many cities to be in the grip of over-the-top prices. And this is a quote from Mr. Johnson. What's surprising is that all of the Florida metros we measure are now within the top 15% of overpriced markets for over a year ago, he said Tuesday. And let me just read you the percentage of overvaluation that we have going on in the state of Florida, according to this study. Tampa, 43% overvalued. Northport, which is on the west coast of Florida, 42%. Cape Coral, 42%. Lakeland, 40%. Palm Bay, 40%. Greater Miami, 39%. Jacksonville, 38%. Orlando, 38%. And Deltona, 38%. David, what do you make of this? What is going on? And are we really overvalued if supposedly 1,000 people a day are moving to the state of Florida?
Go north, young millennials, go north to Georgia, to Alabama. I mean, that was, I don't know. It's, I think people are kind of fed up with, with the high prices. And there's another story out there with the U.S. Census showing that Broward County's population growth is flat, and Miami-Dade losing people because there's a number of people who just don't want to hang around them anymore, paying $12 beers, and just the general cost of living is high, as well as obviously the prices are being high. However, the realtor groups up this way, realtor associations up this way, Broward and Palm Beach County were actually saying that transactions are down in the median. I guess the median price of homes, found this to be rather quirky and bizarre. Median price of homes are $600,000 in both Broward and Palm Beach County. They found kind of stunning.
Wow.
But clearly it goes back to who the people who are flooding into South Florida are those high wage individuals who are willing to pay the higher prices for homes and to drive up those prices. And of course, there are a number of people who don't want to sell, because they're still hanging on to their homes, looking for a top line number to sell their house. On top of that, of course, a lot of those people who are in the selling market are essentially over 3 and 4% mortgages, and we can sell for a price, but where are you going to get a new home for 3 or 4% these days? You sell out the home number 1, and then home number 2 is where in Apalachicola. Maybe they'll be lower prices up that way, but. No.
So David, quick question. So the headline and in the article it talks about overvalued.
Well, they was
there any indication that
was it University FIU and the University of Alabama as well. They've been collaborating. They've got these trend lines that go back to the 1990s, and they've been essentially switching things out over the years and decades. To show what the price lines have been historically, and so they measure it up over time, and they could come to these conclusions that compare with just the valuations on homes that were going for a lot lower prices are way above what the median, I gather, if I recall that correctly.
But I guess what I'm wondering, David, is if something is overvalued, does that mean it's going to come down, or does that mean it's going to stagnate until the market catches up with the price that's sort of in place? Was there any indication from the people you spoke to in the reporting you were doing for the story? Are we, is this a foreshadowing? Is this foreshadowing for some sort of price adjustment downward? Or is this just a suggestion? This is a new baseline, and now we just simply are ahead of ourselves like a cash advance. And now we're going to need the next decade or as long as it takes to catch up to the overvaluation.
The people involved in this research are forecasting a crib or a sizable decline in price. I think they're looking at somewhat of a stagnant market going forward until there's more inventory and prices do ease up a bit. But I mean, that's the problem right now. There's really no substantial construction of single family housing in this region that I know of. I don't know, maybe you guys have identified some projects. I mean, there are projects going up, but there are smaller projects. There are homes out there where there are smaller spaces being constructed and closer into the urban areas, but there are tear downs and things of that nature. But there's certainly, of course, there's one developer who's been fighting to chew up that big reserve up in Palm Beach County. It's a fight right now over whether or not that land, which has been set aside for preservation for culture, the reserve is shrinking because there are developers who are banging on the the doors of City Hall to essentially allow them to build in that area.